If being terminally online has taught me anything, it's that if you're not a genuine person, if you're a liar, your lies will get exposed eventually. And that doesn't just apply to the internet either. That's just in general. Let me go down the list. EDMP, right? Or EPD, whatever the fuck his name is, exposed. More recently, Mutahar, exposed. Mr. Beast, Hassan, you name it, man. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. If you're living a lie and you're this influencer or public figure online, the truth will eventually arise. And honestly, I think that's why VTubing has become more popular now. Because just like me, they too are terminally online. And they see what's happening to all these public internet figures, how they're getting exposed left and right. And they want to keep their identity hidden so that one day that won't happen to them. And in a way, it makes it so that they don't have to own anything they're saying. That's kind of why I don't like VTubers either, because a lot of VTubers, let's face it, they make a lot of slop content. They're making all this money criticizing other people's mistakes, but they're doing it from behind a VTuber avatar. And there's something about that I just can't respect. It's like the equivalent of talking shit through text messaging instead of in person. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like to me. Like, how critical can you be of someone if you're keeping your personal life private? You know, you're keeping the skeletons in your closet hidden. So that's why I just like anytime I see a VTuber channel get recommended to me, I just roll my eyes, you know. This Mutahar situation is what got me thinking like this, because Mutahar, I didn't know he was an engineer until today, actually, when I saw this Tectone video that he got exposed or whatever, and I had no idea. And honestly, it's not really like, who cares, really? What this whole situation has made me realize is that if you're going to have a public online career, you can't get on here and be a liar. And honestly, it's kind of refreshing to see that happen, you know, because it reminds me of a Mike Tyson quote where, if you're not humble, the world will humble you. That's good to know. You know, that this world runs on truth, not lies. And eventually all lies will be exposed one way or another. It's only a matter of time. And a part of me, I've always known this. You tell one lie and you think it's small, but it ends up being a snowball effect. And in order to cover up the first lie, you got to tell like two more lies, right? And then to cover up those three lies, you got to tell 5, 6, 7 more lies. And it just keeps getting more and more ridiculous. You know, if somebody really wanted to pressure you, you know, you couldn't keep a lie. A lie crumbles under consistent pressure. And by pressure, I mean questions, right? The more questions you ask, the more pressure you're applying on that lie. It's something that Cat Williams knows too, that is just a fact of life, that lies cannot exist forever. That's why I think when he said, like, hey, this is going to be the year that everybody gets exposed, it's because he knew that these people's lies can only be contained for so long. And I guess the longer of a career you have on the internet, the more your audience starts to question this thing that you're saying, or question the person, the influencer. This lie, if it is a lie, allegedly, this lie that Mutahar got caught in would have never been quote unquote exposed if he didn't always just mention it any chance he got. You know, the guys that drive big ass trucks that are fucking jacked up and have like big ass wheels looking like a monster truck, or those guys that drive really, really loud, obnoxious motorcycles because they want everybody to see them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. No one would think that you had small dick energy if you weren't so fucking loud about your insecurities. That's the best way I could put it. If basically Mutahar just shut up about what he did for his work, no one would have even questioned it. But because he was so loud about him being something other than a YouTuber, it's like his insecurity was showing and people called him out on it because he was saying he was this thing or these couple of things, but he didn't have really any evidence of that. But he just kept on saying it. And that's the same thing with pirate software too. That's another one. Add them to the list, right? Being exposed. It seems like everywhere you look nowadays, somebody is getting exposed for being a fraud. All those influencers that were really big a couple of years ago, or maybe 5, 6 years ago, maybe more than that now, I think that their audience were little kids mainly, right? And now those little kids are growing up and smartening up and moving on because they realize that these people that they idolized are phony. And the thing that these influencers need to realize is that for every Logan Paul, there's about like 10 CoffeeZillas in the comment section ready to put your feet to the fire. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? If you kept things real and you were genuine from day one, there would be nothing for anyone to expose. It's really as simple as that. Like, audiences are not just dumb. They're not just mindless now. They're actually paying attention to what certain people say, and that's awesome, I think. I think that's awesome because it's an audience that holds the people that they watch accountable for what they do and for what they say, and I think that's fucking awesome. And I hope that one day I can maybe gaining the respect and admiration of an audience that's just like that and holds me accountable for the things I say and the things I do. Yeah, I think that's all I got to say. I just had this on my mind. I had to get it out. And I hope the audio is okay. If it's not, let me know. Humble me. Right? See you later.